Hey guys, welcome to this week's edition of the Coffee and Hero Show. The first part taking you through the new releases into the store this week in terms of graphic novels, hardcovers and all of the above. So it's not the biggest selection this week, but it is chock full of quality though, I will say. So we're kicking things off with The Riddler Year 1 hitting hardcover. So this of course was written by Paul Dano, who of course played the Riddler in the movie. Stepan Subic on art. What you see here, you'll see a little sticker on here. This is actually a comic store exclusive cover, a direct market cover, if you will. So if you go to, Amazon or Waterstones or that kind of thing, you'll see a different cover for this, which we are waiting on coming in as well, but, diamond. But we do have the direct market exclusive covers anyway. You'll only find this cover in comic shops. Next up is Poison Ivy. We're up to volume 2 of G. Willow Wilson's run on Ivy. Again, nice hardcover here. This collects issues 7 to 12, so a good 6-issue collection. Marcio Takara on art for this one. And again, this has been a pretty great run so far, so up to volume 2 of that. Interesting one this week, which is Iron Maiden, Peace of Mind. So this made me feel my age because 40 years have passed since the release of Peace of Mind, so 1983, so for those paying attention, the year I was born. Since release of Peace of Mind, more than an album, it was a thunderous statement of intent by a band whose meteoric rise from the East End of London would propel them to the world stage and write them into the realms of legend. This tome is a tribute to the monumental legacy of those 9 unforgettable tracks and a celebration of the unparalleled vision which inspired them. So graphic novel, Iron Maiden, definitely one for the fans. Next up, we have a slightly sad one coming in, which is Berserk Deluxe Edition 14. So unfortunately, the Berserk creator, Kentaro Miura, he died about a year ago, but this is essentially the final chapters that he had worked on, and it also includes the Berserk official guidebook as well. So Berserk Edition 14. On some trade paperbacks, you have Daredevil and Echo. This was written by Taboo with art by B. Earl, Phil Noto doing covers predominantly. This was a really, really good 4-issue miniseries actually. So one for the Daredevil fans, and maybe to make yourself familiar with the character Echo before the upcoming TV show. Next up, from Marjorie Lewin Sana Takeda, the team behind Monstrous, is Volume 2 of The Night Eaters. Volume 1 of this was really, really good. It's almost like a mix of manga and traditional comic type style. Really, really good, really haunting, supernatural tinged story. And this, of course, again, is Volume 2, released through Titan Comics. We have the second volume of the current run of Deadpool, so it's Alyssa Wong on writing duties for this one. You've got Javier Pina, Luigi Zagaria, and Matt Miller responsible for the art. This collects the 2022 series issues 6 to 10, although a lot of those issues would come out in 2023. A favourite series gets its second volume for the store, which is Kaya, Volume 2. So Wes Craig, of course, continuing on with his creator-owned book, both writing and drawing. This contains issues 6 to 11. We do have the Volume 1s in stock as well. The Volume 1s fall under that Image price point of $10. So you can certainly check it out, and then Volume 2 is released just this week. We're starting to see this from DC, which is really cool. They're starting to collect some compendiums, and they're runs of titles that haven't really been in print for quite some time. So I know, for example, coming soon, you're going to be getting like Chuck Dixon runs on Nightwing and Robin, for example. But what's cool about this one, this is Kyle Rayner, Rising. This is the compendium, of course, for the other Green Lantern. Written by Ron Mars, art by Daryl Banks. You also got Romeo Tangal and Steve Matson as well. So this collects, as I say, Green Lantern Volume 3, so issue 0, as well as issues 48 to 65. Damage 16, Dark Stars issues, Guy Gardner Warrior issues, New Teen Titans issues. So it's a really, really definitive tome for Kyle Rayner, who of course was to take over from Hal Jordan as the Green Lantern. And again, they've done it in this compendium style, which means they can keep the costs down a bit. There's more than enough material here. They could have done this as an omnibus, released it for $100, $120, whatever. But this is a $60 compendium instead. Next volume of The Mandalorian is out this week, so Season 2 Part 1. So this is the first 4 issues of Season 2 of Mandalorian. This, of course, is the adaptation of the TV show, being shepherded by Rodney Barnes with George Genti on art. So one for the Star Wars fans. Back in stock, I got a ton of Walking Dead Volume 1s. Walking Dead seems more popular than ever. I've always had this theory that as soon as it ended, it actually reignited the interest because people knew there was an end point they were getting to. But brand new Volume 1 in stock, back in stock this week. Another one of the classic runs that is being reprinted through ever since James Gunn came on as the DC head honcho, if you will. So what this is Batman Harley and Ivy by Paul Dini and Bruce Timm, of course responsible for the Batman animated series. This is a pretty definitive little book as well for the early days for these two. So you've got Batman Harley and Ivy 1 to 3, Batman Adventures Annual 1, the Holiday Special number 1, Batman and Robin Adventures number 8, Batgirl Adventures number 1, Gotham Knights number 14, and Black and White number 3. So one for the fans out there. Next up is Denny Ketch Ghost Rider, Blood and Vengeance. This was again another cool wee 4-issue mini-series dealing with Danny Ketch. Howard Mackie was back to write it. So this is part of the Marvel run of stuff where they're getting classic creators in to do new stories set within those timelines. So really, really cool stuff. This art was by Daniel Picotto. We finally received these in, which is Doctor Who, Once Upon a Time Lord. So famed Marvel writer Dan Slott is writing for this, making his Doctor Who debut. He's a huge Doctor Who fan, always has been, always said that if they ever hired an American showrunner, he would like that job. So yeah, and it's a new spectacular special which features an ensemble of heroes, villains, and time-traveling chaos. So yeah, hardcover this week. And then we finish off with a new Black Label book that has come out. This was one, of course, that we helped launch. We had Ramvi in for the signing around the time issue 1 of this came out. And that is Aquaman Andromeda, which has always been referred to as underwater cosmic horror. What more do you need to know? Really cool interpretation of Aquaman. Ram on writing, Christian Ward on art. We interviewed Christian Ward for the podcast as well. You can find that back on the network where he spoke about this title quite a bit as well. But this is now the new hardcover collection for that. So yeah, so that is everything going out into the store this week. There's been numerous bits and pieces put out around the store as well. I've been working through all the signed comics that we've been fortunate enough to get from the signings over the years, putting those out. I've completely redone the Dynamite section. There's new Red Sonja out there. There's new Vampirella. Yesterday I did the Shadow. So tons of new stuff got out to the store as always. So plenty for you to have a flick around if you're in store. But as always, I hope this proved useful for you. I look forward to seeing you hopefully in the store throughout the week. And I hope you're keeping well out there. So take it easy.